Yep. Mine is working. Perfect. Test, test. Test, test. All right, here we go. Hopefully Mr. Jones is going to be ready. All right, here we go. Welcome to Oktoberfest of Speed, Lobby 1, Race 1. And we do have red flags here in the first sector. Any incident involving 2 cars with damage at the start. And we've got lights out, and they're off. Let's get this view here for the first sector to make sure we don't have any issues. Clean so far. And let's let everybody through sector 1 here. Come on, guys. Well done. Well done. Well done. No issues. All right, here we go. Let's get up to the front. We got Smashing Apex leading the way. With S7 Arrow, Mr. Clean, and S7 Arrow, the Truth Serum tucked in behind. Everybody a nice clean first sector, which means red flags are now washed. Coming down the back straight. You can see the tow. Everybody's using the exact same 911 Porsche. Therefore, no speed differential, so that tow should have some effect for these drivers. As we come down the hill here to complete lap 1, as you can see, the pack is starting to stretch out. But we've made it through lap 1 without any incidents, so kudos to everybody involved. Looks like Arrow and Mr. Clean are coming in side by side. Arrow holds on the inside. There's going to be limited space coming up the hill here. Great clean driving by both. And Mr. Clean holds on to P2. A little bit of a wiggle as we come through the tunnel. And looks like they're all sticking together pretty nicely. A little bit loose coming through there from Arrow. He stays pretty close to Mr. Clean as they come down before they head back up the hill through the tunnel. This is one of those places on the track where that tow is going to mean a couple miles an hour at the very least. And we'll see if Arrow is able to bridge the gap up to Mr. Clean. Although Mr. Clean will have a little bit of tow himself. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough. But right behind him we got the Truth Serum who's tucked in right there, along with Toto. We have 3 S7R drivers here, all on 3 different teams. But as you can see, they're all pretty darn close to each other at the moment. Everybody's clean through there, and these top 5 drivers are starting to separate themselves quite substantially from the rest of the drivers. If we take a look back here, we got Obi-Wan sitting in 6th place. Obi-Wan is leading a pack of 6 cars. Obi-Wan followed by Fogey. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. DS1126, Nosfox, G-Loke, and Mr. Jones. Great to see Mr. Jones was able to make it for the start of that race. I was a little bit concerned, trying to hold on as long as we possibly could. Glad he was able to get there for the start. We got Chevy here in 12th, an RWB driver. We've got Romeo in 13th, and we've got Yak back here in 14th. Yak must have had some sort of incident at some point in time there. Hopefully he can work his way back up. Let's jump back up to the front. We got Apex, followed by Mr. Clean, so no changes there. We've got the Truth Serum, who's made his way past Arrow at some point in time in the first 2 sectors. Arrow is tucked in behind him, followed by Toto. And again, these 5 drivers have really distanced themselves about 4-second gap back to 6th place. So early days here in this 40-minute endurance. We're only 10% of the way in, but they've been able to extend the gap pretty substantially. And speaking of which, Smashing Apex is out to a 1.2 second lead, which is enough. Toe in this game is right around that 1.2 mark. So if he can maintain this or spread that gap a little bit, he is going to eliminate that risk of drag reduction from Mr. Clean behind him. It's a technical section of the track here. Really easy to get loose going through there and coming into the tunnel. A nice clean sector there. Picked up a couple tenths through that portion of the track. Coming down here, really quick left-hand turn as he crossed the bridge. Hard on the brakes. Let the car swing out wide onto those red and white bumpers and just full send up the straightaway. And as he comes out of that turn, he's got a 1.3 second gap. That's going to be enough to break that toe. So that's really important if you're smashing Apex at this point in time. Jump back to Mr. Clean. We've got a 4-car train heading down that back straight. Positions remain unchanged. Those 4 cars are the way they were last lap. Again, that's Mr. Clean, S7R De Truth, S7R Arrow, and S7R Toto Wolf at the back of this 5-car pack. And then we've got a 6.5 to 7 second lead back to Nos Fox. There's been some lead change back in this group. So we've got Nos Fox coming down the hill here. He is pulling along a number of drivers here. We've got Foggy right behind him, followed by G-Loke, followed by Mr. Jones, and followed by DS1126, who's trying to make a move down the inside. Very respectful. Mr. Jones leaves him some room, and 1126 realizes that's not the time and place to make that move, and tucks right in behind, and we'll save that up for another corner some other time. We've got a really good close race here in this pack between 5 or 6 drivers. You can see these top 4 guys really neat and tidy through that section. We're able to put a little gap between them and 1126. And I think we've got, we'll stay on with G-Loke here as he's pretty tight to Foggy. 3 tenths coming out of the tunnel. Not really dropping that gap. As Foggy also had that. G-Loke looks down the inside. We've got contact. G-Loke looks like he came off the throttle a little bit to let him have that position back. He realized that that didn't go as cleanly as he was hoping for. So good driving. And we've got Foggy flying into the pits. So in this series, folks, all 3 tire compounds are mandatory. So hard, medium, and soft. Must complete at least 1 lap with all 3 of those compounds in order to satisfy GT7's mandatory tire requirements. We don't care in what order, but they all need to be taken care of. And we're back up here at the front with Smashing Apex, who has stretched that lead another couple tenths since we last visited him. He's got that up to 1.5 seconds over Mr. Clean, who is still got the Truth Serum right there, very much in his gearbox, and that's a 4/10 gap, and you can see it dropping. Where Mr. Clean does not have the benefit of the tow from the driver ahead, it is helping the Truth Serum close that gap for sure. I don't know if it's going to be enough for him to make a lunge down the inside. Nope, he's going to stay right where he is. But he is really close to him. This could be the corner here. No, it's stretched out again to about 1/2 second. Mr. Clean got a really nice exit. That should be enough for him to hang on and start lap number 7 and stay in the second place. It is. And yeah, no lunge down the inside, and they're going to stay where they are. But as we go back down the leaderboard, we've had a change in 4th and 5th. Toto Wolf has gotten past Arrow. We didn't see anything, not sure if there was an issue, but that gap has come out to 1.2 seconds. So maybe a little mistake from Arrow along the way there, but he's still very much in contact with these other top 4 drivers. And if he can hang on to that gap, then he should be able to join right back up with them again. And we'll slide back down here in 6th place. That gap continues to widen a little bit from 5th to 6th at 8.3 seconds, but Nosfox continues to lead that pack. Followed within a second by G-Log. And again, about 1.1 back to Mr. Jones. And about 1.4 to DST1126. You see now we're into the 7th lap. These guys are settling into the race. And those gaps are starting to expand a little bit. We've got about 3 seconds back to 10th, where we've got Romeo sitting here. Romeo from Speedhouse Racing. We've got RWB Chevy in 11th place, just under 2 seconds behind Romeo. We've got Fogey, who has made a pit stop, so not true track position here. We've got Obi-Wan right behind him, who very possibly has made a pit stop as well. Looks like maybe on lap 3. And we've got Yak, who had a tough first lap, but he may have pitted on first lap, to be honest with you. Let's go take a look through the tire situation. We've got Smashing Apex again up at front, maintaining that 1.6 lead, maybe just kind of adding to it slightly on each and every lap. He is currently on the mediums, and it looks like he has started on those. So he'll have to make 2 pit stops along the way here to change to the softs in both the hards. And behind him we've got Mr. Clean, who is also running on the mediums. Same situation as Apex. The Truth Serum, same story there on the mediums. You can see it's pretty consistent wear across all these drivers. Front right, back right seem to be wearing a little bit more than the left tires. A lot of pressure on those outside tires on a couple of these corners. We've got Total Wolf, who's also on the mediums, same situation, and Arrow on the mediums. So the top 5 is separated by a total of 4.3 seconds as we begin lap 9. So still really tightly bunched. Gap back to 6th place to Nosfox, who is also on the medium tire, is roughly 10 seconds now. So that gap continues to expand. And like I said, he's on the mediums as well. Yet to make a pit stop. We've got Romeo back here in 7th place, who very possibly made a pit stop on his opening lap. He is currently on the softs. As you can see, that tire wear is substantially heavier than the mediums. We've got G-Loke, who just made a pit stop. He's out on some fresh, hard tires currently. Fogey is on the mediums. He also made a pit stop about 4 or 5 laps ago, so he is on his 2nd compound of the race. You can see here, G-Loke on the hards, Fogey on the mediums. There is a definite pace difference between the two. Just that medium is a lot stickier compound than the hards in this GT7, and you can tell just that, whoa, he definitely sent it down the inside there. Oh, G-Loke, did he hang on to it? He did somehow. I think that might have been a little bit of lag because he got a better exit than what it appeared to be. So, on those hard tires, he was able to maintain that gap. And we've got a number of drivers closing in on this battle. We've got Obi-Wan Kenobi here in 10th. And just behind him, we've got Mr. Jones and all 4 of these cars, and even 5. We've got DS1126 coming to join the party, and you can see those hard tires are just a bit of a challenge. He's surrounded by drivers on medium compound, and it's making a difference. I think you just gotta play the long game here if you're G-Loke and realize that you're not going to be quite as fast as these drivers. Tuck in behind and see if you can hang on. Which is what it looks like he's going to do, as Obi-Wan takes it around the outside. Does he make it stick? He does not. Nice thing. Oh, he's going to try to make a move up the hill here. Oh, that's a tough spot to make it happen. And, oh boy. No, well done. Well done. That's some gutsy attempt there by Obi-Wan to try to make a move through that sector, but no harm, no foul. And we got DS126 in the back of this. We got Yak coming through here things are a little bit lonely for him, but he's still hanging in there. Only 3 seconds back, and as we said, he's on mediums, so I believe he has made a pit stop already. And then we've got Chevy, who is 1 lap off of making a switch to the mediums as well. All right, back up front, we've got Smashing Apex, who has widened that gap, doubled it since the last time we were looking at him. He's up to 3.2 seconds. He's still on the mediums, which is what he started the race on. We're here on lap 11. We're going to see a variety of different strategies here across these drivers. Wouldn't be surprised to see the top 4 or 5 probably do very similar ones, but it is appearing like Apex today is pulling this car out ahead of the S7R driver De Truth Serum, who's got Mr. Clean right behind him, who is followed right behind by Toto Wolff, and whatever fighting's been going on in this group has allowed Arrow to jump back up into this fight as well. We had noticed earlier he had dropped outside that second 1.3, and now he's back under a second, so he's very much still in this battle. Interesting to see. The physics in this game have really made the tire wear, from my perspective, noticeably more aggressive, so it'll be interesting to see how long these guys push the envelope with these medium tires. Obviously, it's a better tire than the hard, so they're going to want to expand this stint as much as they can without losing too much time. And they've got the advantage of having a 12-second gap back to 6th. So I think generally speaking, those guys in 2nd through 5th will most likely react to what Apex does in front, and we'll see where we go from there. Nosfox continues along, putting in good consistent laps in the 128s. Excuse me. We've got Foggy here in 7th. He's the first of the drivers, I believe, that have already pitted. As I say, those first 6 have stayed out. He is closely followed by Obi-Wan. This is the sector where we watched them last lap where they had a good battle. Looks like Foggy's got a little bit more of a lead this time around. And back behind him, about 1.7, 1.8 seconds, is G-Loke, who again is running on a different compound. He's on the hards. So doing a good job to sort of limit the losses while he's on this compounded tire. Certainly lasts a little bit longer, but it's definitely not as fast. And it looks like just behind we've got DS1126 carrying a half-second penalty. It's a bit of a killer on this track. It's on the straightaway, but the good thing is you can get your car fully up to speed. A half-second is not the end of the world. Should be able to easily stay ahead of Mr. Jones, and really didn't cost him too much time, maybe a half a second to G-Loke, so not too penalizing here, especially if you're in the tow. Mr. Jones back here in 11th, he's got some company from VPR's Stack and Yak, and Romeo is tucked right up behind Yak as well. As they come down the finish straight here, we'll see if Romeo's going to make a move here. He's definitely got the speed. And it looks like he's going for it. He's going to send it down the inside, late on the brakes. And Yak doesn't close the door. Probably the right thing to do there, and just let the faster car go by for this time. Romeo's on very fresh mediums. Yaks are a good 30-40% burnt through. Now we got Chevy, who is within a second of Yak as well. So we've got a bunch of really good packs here. Really, the only person really driving on their own right now is our leader, Smashing Apex, who's got a 3.6 second lead. And back in 6th, Nosfox is kind of separated from the backpack and the front pack. So he's having a little bit of a lonely race right at the moment. But when he goes in for pits, I assume he will drop back into that second pack a little bit more as well. Well, maybe we'll just go for a little ride along lap with our leader here. And perhaps what we'll do, just take a second to talk about the league. So this is Victory Pace Racing League. This is our 5th series that we've been running. We do shorter series, generally a 3-race series that we do once a week for 3 weeks. Then we take a break for a couple of weeks, give everybody a little rest, and then we come back with a fresh new 3-race series again. This one is called our Oktoberfest of Speed. A little different series we're running here. We've invited teams from across the GT7 community, as well as leagues from across the GT7 community, to put in a team of 3 drivers, well, 4 with a spare, and we've got 3 lobbies, so one driver from each team in each lobby, and it is a total team timed event. So we will be 3 races. We're racing this one here, obviously in Deep Forest. Is in the Porsche 911. It's a single car series, so everybody will ride the same car, and we will at the end of this race total up the total race time across the 3 partners of each team, and that is how we will crown our champion at the end of the 3rd race. So something a little bit different. It's been a great reaction from the racing community across GT7. We got some really good fast racers in here. Really nice to see multiple leagues and teams being represented in a nice, fun environment here, where we also have some really good racing. Let's give Smashing Apex some well-deserved race time there. And then let's take a little slide back as he continues to just open that gap. Toto, Wolf, Mr. Clean, and Arrow, excuse me, have been tight together since this opening stages of this race. As you can see, back in 6th, the Truth Serum most likely has left this pack and made his first pit stop. We'll see as we come down the hill here. We've got Toto Wolf. No, he's not going to. He tricked us. But Mr. Clean is going to. So Mr. Clean is the second of that group to jump into the pits. As we see here, see if that 1-lap undercut makes a difference for the Truth Serum. He threw the hards on, and we'll see whether that works for him. With Mr. Clean also just jumping into the pits. There we go. And Mr. Clean looks like he threw the softs on, so this is that gap is right around 2 seconds now, but we should see Mr. Clean pull away at this stage of the race with obviously a brand new set of tires, and with the softer compound versus the hard, that 5-second gap should realistically grow. And we've got a 10-second gap back to Fogey, who is currently carrying a half-second penalty, unfortunately for him. We will serve that on the back straight. Coming up here, he's got a 3.2-second lead back to DS1126. Who has Obi-Wan right in the gearbox, followed by G-Loke closely behind. Obi-Wan's tires look like they are getting to the end of their life, as we're 23 minutes into a 40-minute race. And G-Loke is on those hards, and looks like they're coming too. Romeo on the mediums right behind G-Loke. We may see a move here. Yep, he's pulled out to make a pass on the inside by the looks of it, into the hairpin. He's going to have to come from behind. Looks like he's got track position. Oh boy. That was tight. Obi-Wan went wide. Romeo squeaks through. And that cost Obi-Wan 2 positions. I got a little wide into that hairpin. And wasn't able to hold on to 8th position. And unfortunately, neither did he hold on to 9th. He may make a lunge here as well into turn 1. Well, appears like he's going to hang on. We've also got somebody just jumping out of the pits. No, that's the Truth Serum. He did jump out of the pits. He is on his last compound of tires. And he's got 15 minutes remaining. It'll be interesting to see if he can make these softs last that long. It'll be tough. It'll be tough. Those soft tires really degrade quickly. 5 seconds back down the road, we got RWB's Chevy, and we got VPR Stack and Yak. And let me just take a second here, and we'll tell you about the teams sort of as we go through them. I'll go back up to this. Oh, we've got Smashing Apex, our leader, coming into the pits, as is our second place driver, Arrow. As you can see, they were both on mediums. Fuel consumption is relatively the same. We got Smashing Apex coming out of the pits with the softs. Mr. Clean coming down into corner 1 as well. He is also on the softs. Looks like he pitted 1 lap earlier. He's got a 4-second gap. I think he was able to put a pretty good chunk over 1 lap into Smashing Apex's lead, but now with a fresh set of rubber for Smashing Apex, he should be able to maintain or extend that gap based on what he was doing earlier on. And while we're on Mr. Clean here, maybe we'll just let you know he's on Infinite Octane Racing Team. He and other members of that team have raced in VPRL races in the past. Great bunch of drivers, lots of fun to race with. We'll jump down to S70 Toto Wolf. He is racing on Aston Gang. He's obviously on S7R Racing Team, but he's representing the Aston Gang for this specific event. We'll jump down to S7R Arrow, who is on Sector 7 Racing Team for this. Sector 7 Racing's got lots of fast drivers and are well represented in this lobby today. We've got Nosfox. Nosfox is with us representing Epilepsy Awareness Racing. Obviously a great cause, bringing awareness to epilepsy with a real sharp-looking livery there. We've got Foggy right behind him, representing Monkey Mafia Esports. Also, a great group of members in the community there who take part in our races, and vice versa for our VPR drivers there. We'll go to RWB Chevy. And Chevy's representing GT Champions, a great league. GTC, for those of you who aren't aware of it, go check it out on their Discord. Run some great leagues. I'm assuming at some point in time here in the not too distant future, we'll see an announcement for them for the next World Cup. We've talked about Nosfox, we've talked about Foggy. Let's say G-Loke, we've got him racing for VPR. Obviously, got the home team. This is Victory Pace Racing Team. G-Loke is a relatively new addition to our team. Great driver, put on a good performance here tonight. We've got Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones is also an RWB racer, and he is representing RWB Racing Team. And he's got a penalty. And then we got VPR Stack and Yak, who is representing Victory Pace Racing League Team. This is our second submission here from VPR. Stack and Yak is the president of VPR. So great to have him on the track today. And he's currently in 14th, but he's right tucked up behind Mr. Jones, who is going to serve a penalty. So chances are we're going to see an overtake here. Oh, and Yak has picked up a penalty himself. He probably won't serve it here. He'll have to serve it next lap. So we may just have a little flip of positions, and then the same thing will happen next time around. He's able to make that stick. And we'll go up to the front. We've got, again, Smashing Apex, who has just been really quick from the very start of this race. He is representing Auto Racing Connected. That's ARC. That's a league as well. And obviously a super quick driver. And I think that's everybody. I think we got everybody. Well, we did get Romeo. Romeo's representing Speedhouse Racing. Again, I've shared lobbies with a lot of these guys. Speedhouse Racing's got a nice community going there, and some really good racers. DS1126 representing Gearbangers Racing League. As you can see by the livery there, most of our drivers have got their respective team or league liveries on here. Always looking good. And again, thanks to all of these drivers for coming and joining us here in Series 5, and hopefully we can get them back for a series in the future as well. And I think the last gentleman we didn't touch on was Obi-Wan Kenobi, who was racing on Midwest Esports. And unfortunately, he's got a 3-second penalty, most likely from a pit stop. That's a killer. That penalty is a killer in this game. And looks like just in the background, we got Yak, who just served that half-second penalty. Jones got some overspeed, but he's not going to try to make the move. Yak was able to hold on to that despite serving a penalty. But it looks like Mr. Jones is going to have a real serious look at him coming down this start-finish straight. And we'll just watch to see if there's a move here into turn 1, and then we'll go back up to check on our leaders and see where we stand. Is he going to make the move? Doesn't look good. He's having a peek. Yak looks like he closes the door, but he goes deep into the corner. Gives Mr. Jones the run, but they're going to go side by side. Nope, Mr. Jones is going to think better of it. He's going to tuck right back in behind him. Good clean driving here from these guys. Technical section right here. Mr. Jones is chomping at the bit to get past, but Yak's doing some good defensive driving here to keep him in his rear view. And they are on different compounds as well. Mr. Jones doing all this with the medium compound where Yak's on the soft. So if Yak's going to have to make hay now before those softs start to drop off. Back up to the front of the race, we've got Smashing Apex out to 4.6 second lead. He has grown that since we last visited him. He was down 3 seconds. But as you can see, he's 2 laps off of coming off his fastest lap of the race, which is the fastest lap of the race at 125.7, followed by 126. So he is really moving out there right at the moment. And that gap is growing. He's on the fastest compound right now on the softs. So he will have to make one more pit to go on the hards, I believe. I don't believe he's put the hards on yet. And followed in second place, we've got Mr. Clean. Same thing, he's on the softs. As you can see, they are really taking a beating. Same situation. He's done medium soft. I do not believe he's done hards yet, so he will have to pit to complete at least one lap. And that can be the last lap of the race. As I said, we don't create any different rules. We just whatever is necessary to meet GT7's tire requirements, so that you do not get the time penalty. And that generally means you can use it on the first lap and or the last lap. Now we got Toto here in third place. He's got a 5-second gap up to second place with Mr. Clean. And he's got a large gap, a 20-second gap back to the Truth Serum. But again, not entirely sure who's done what tire at this point in time. We may see some of these positions change drastically. But we'll see. That'll all have to shake itself out here as we've got 7 minutes to go in this 40-minute endurance race. After race 1, the lobbies will be reseeded. So based on the results from the 3 lobbies for race number 1, the fastest racer from each team will be represented in lobby 1, second fastest from each team will be in lobby 2, and third in lobby 3. We're doing that so that we can obviously have the closest and fastest racers across the 3 lobbies. We want to maintain as close racing as we possibly can. For number 1, we just did random lobbies. We divided up the teams as equally as we thought we could. And as you can see, we're seeing pockets of racers, and it's really spread out at this point in time, but that's not uncommon. We'll jump back to the Truth Serum, who has got Arrow making a move. We just came at the right time. The Truth Serum just gets past. He's on softs. Arrow's on softs, but Arrow's on much fresher tires. So that could be making a massive difference for him. As this battle for 4-5 between Sector 7 Racing teammates, not teammates in the sense of this competition, but teammates at home, and I'm sure they're driving for bragging rights. with their other Sector 7 teammate up ahead of them in third place. So very well represented in 3-4-5 currently. As you can see, those fresh tires through the technical sections are make a massive difference as he's adding tenths to that gap on every corner. 4 seconds back, we've got Romeo from Speedhouse. He is on the medium tire. They're starting to wear a little bit. I'm not sure, again, what tire strut he's on. He may have to take those to the end. That remains to be seen. But he's currently sitting at 5th place. We've got the Truth Serum sitting back here in 6th. But we must have just had an issue with the Truth Serum that I missed. Because he was battling with Arrow, I thought. Unless he just pit, did he? No, he did not. So, must have been an issue there. We've got Foggy here in 7th place. He is followed closely by Nosfox. Both are on the softs. Both look to be the exact same age. So no distinct tire advantage between these two. It's just down to racing at this point in time. As we've got just over 4 minutes left to go. Most likely 3 laps. And we'll see. This is one of the closer battles on the track currently. And we'll stick with them for a couple corners and see if anything exciting happens. We've got Chevy. Looks like he's just pulled into the pits. He went in on the mediums from 9th place. Nosfox able to shrink that gap a little bit, take a tenth out of him in the first corner. And this sector here, extremely important. A lot of time can be won or lost. Really technical. We got a manager speed coming through this, especially this left-hander, right-hander. Looks like he's lost a little bit of time to Foggy. Foggy had a nice clean sector there. And as we jump back here to G-Loke, he's mediums versus softs, so we may see this gap shrink a little bit, right at 1 second, and dropping. So the tire advantage is real. Mr. Clean from 3rd, coming in with softs, which means he's most likely throwing the hards on. I don't think, man, he pushed those softs right to the limit. We're going to see, putting a little bit of fuel in by the looks of it too. And he's coming out on hards with a little bit of fuel, fresh tires, 3rd place, and Arrow is right there on the softs, albeit they're used. But that could be enough. Could be enough tire to make a move. That is assuming Arrow has already used the hard compound. We're not sure. Again, back to our leader. Smashing Apex has really led from lights out, and has currently got that lead up to 11 seconds. Again, keeping in mind, there is a tire requirement for all 3 compounds, so we're not 100%. Apex does need to pit again. It looks like he might do so right now to throw the hards on. So he's 11 seconds when he came into the pits. We're going to see what Toto Wolf does here. I believe he's going to have to do the same thing. He's going to most likely have to put the hards on, and he does. So that gap is going to remain. Mr. Clean has the new tires on. So we'll see what kind of gap. We've got Smashing Apex, our leader, coming out of the pits. He didn't take fuel. I don't think he needs it. He's coming out on the hard tire. Mr. Clean is coming down the finish straight. He's got Arrow right behind him. And Toto comes out. Oh, this is going to be tight. Toto just makes it work with a late pit stop on fresh hards. Mr. Clean has also got 1 lap old hards. And Arrow is driving on the soft tire. They look like they're probably 4 or 5 laps old. So that tire advantage, I'm not sure how long it lasts on those soft tires, but it could be enough for him to get a little extra speed out of one of these corners and make a move. But these 3 gentlemen are battling for step 2 and 3 on the podium. And it is some tight racing right now. just watching the clock here to see if our leader Smashing Apex is going to get another lap. It appears like he most likely will. So I want to stick with this for as long as we possibly can because we got some serious action here for podiums. Arrow is really... Oh, he's making a move on Mr. Clean down the inside. Again, he's got the soft compound tire versus the hard. He's got some good traction coming out. They stay wide and clean. Looks like he's going to make that stick for the time being. Obviously, no, Mr. Clean is going to have that toe. He's right behind him. It's going to be very difficult for Arrow to keep him behind him coming down in turn 1. And they are really battling for it here. Mr. Clean's going to go on the outside. Arrow's claimed the in. And it looks like Arrow's got track position. If he can just make that corner work, it's going to be really difficult for Mr. Clean to get by him. Nice clean exit by all three. And Arrow holds on to 3rd place. And we've got Romeo is taking the checker flag as our 40-minute endurance is taken around. He is finished in 5th place. We're going to jump back up to our lead driver as he finishes up coming to the end of... He's going to exit Sector 2 up here along the straight as he comes out of the tunnel. And, you know, as we mentioned, he's led this race from the jump. Built a nice early lead and has really just built on that throughout the 3 phases. He's got 11-second lead coming down the back straight here. And he deserves for us to ride to the finish line with him as he's put in a real solid performance here today. Really pulling a good gap, 11 seconds back to 2nd place. That battle for 2nd place, which it looks like it's still going on. I think Mr. Clean has made a move on Arrow again. But congratulations to Apex for our winner in race 1. And we're going to get right back to this battle as Toto's looks like he's going to take 2nd, but Mr. Clean and Arrow are going to battle this right to the line. Oh, he's got overspeed. He's got overspeed, but it's not going to be enough. What a finish for 3rd and 4th place. Great driving by these 3 drivers there together the whole race. And I got to say, you know, again, kudos to Smashing Apex with the victory in race 1, lobby 1 of the Oktoberfest of Speed event put on by VPRL, Victory Pace Racing League. And happy to see we got all of our drivers finishing the race. Let's go take a look at the results. We've got Smashing Apex here, top of the leaderboard, and also taking fastest lap, 125.735. We got Sector 7 Racing Toto Wolf in 2nd place. We've got Mr. Clean representing Infinite Octane Racing Team, finishing with that podium and lobbying 1 for race 1. We got Sector 7's Racing Arrow in 4th place. Again, that great battle between those drivers most of the race. We've got Romeo, who is representing Speedhouse Racing, finishing out that top 5. Sector 7 Racing DeTruth Serum in 6th. We've got Fogey in 7th from Monkey Mafia Esports. We've got Nosfox from Epilepsy Awareness Racing Team for this event in 8th place. In 9th place, we've got DS1126 from Gasbangers Racing League. We've got G-Loke representing Victory Pace Racing. We've got Obi-Wan Kenobi from Midwest Esports in 11th place. We've got VPR Stack and Yak representing Victory Pace Racing League. We've got Mr. Jones, who's an RWB driver representing RWB Racing, and RWB Chevy representing GT Champions. Well, thanks for everybody who stuck around and watched us. Apologize for the commentating. This is something new that we're trying. Hopefully you all enjoyed the race. Come on back for race number 2. Same time next week, next Monday evening. And we look forward to a bunch more good racing. If you want to learn more about Victory Pace Racing League, please come check us out on all the socials or on Discord. And come join us for fun racing. Short series, only 3 races at a time. Lots of fun with very limited commitment. Cheers. Catch you next week.